So good day, people. I believe we are having a nice time. All right, today we'll be talking about file extension, what it means, and how we can quickly know the type of file a document or a file is. All right, if you check my screen, you can see this capture.png. Now, this PNG represents the extension CDR, and if you notice at the end of the document name or at the end of the file name precedes the extension PDF. .cdr, .png. This is a picture file, this is a audio file, this is a PDF file. Now, what is file extension? So file extension is the ending of a file that helps identify the file type in operating systems such as Windows. In Windows, the file name extension is a period often followed by 3 characters, often, so not all the time, but also be 1, 2, 4 or more characters long, as I've shown you earlier. Now, how do you know or how do you locate the extension of a file? Now, right click on that particular file, then select properties for those who are using Windows. Then you will see type of file .doc. So if you don't have either WPS or Office file or even WordPad can actually access a Microsoft Word document. Alright, so now let's move on. Types of file extension. There are thousands of files and extensions associated with one or more application. More common files extension are what we'll be looking into in this class. So number 1, picture file. Usually picture files carries these extensions. GIF are a motion image. JPG, PNG, this image without background. PSP, TIF, etc. So any extension that carry any file that carries this extension, the name of a file precedes next to it is the extension. So every file has its extension. Okay, so for music files, MP3, wave sound, M4A, etc. Now the extension, when you create an audio, when you do an audio recording from your phone, the extension is different. So for you to get MP3 formats, you need to have a converter. So operating system file .dll, dynamic link library, executable, etc. Now for text or word processing documents, so we have .docx, .rtf, which text formats, .txt, and so on. So now the next one is spreadsheets, Excel, as you can see. Now the next thing is for video. We're looking about video file format. So we have MP4, we have WMV, we have quite a large number of video files, so we'll look into it. Now look at it. We have so many of it. MP4, the 3GP is for our old phones, Symbian phone. AVI, MPEG, MOV, WMV. And the next one, program files. So these program files, for instance, if you write a program for JavaScript or for Java or for any form of program, instance, C# or C++ or ordinary C have their own extension. So it's .c, .cpp, .java, .py for Python. Then we have JS for JavaScript, PL for Perl scripts. Right, next one is TS, TypeScript. Quite huge sum of programs with their extension. So we have .com.exe usually. Now what does this mean? Let me talk about this .exe. If you see a picture that carries let's say wedding pics dot exe, that means something is wrong. A virus has the capacity to change your file extension. So if you see a file like that, know that you're in for something. So never click on such files. That is how some people get infected. Alright, so let's talk about compressed file formats. You know, if you download things online, for instance, from FileCR or for FileEpo and so on and so forth, heavy files, for instance, or files that your antivirus sees it as virus, such files are kept in a compressed file. You understand? So now let's see them. .ara, this is common. The zip2 is also common. .hqx, .arj, tar, and so on. .c. Now we have quite huge sum of extension for compressed files. Now let's talk about web page file format. So if you're writing program like you're writing HTML, you're writing ASP, CSS, and so on. So we have their extension. So any file you see, you right click on it, then you select properties and check if it is .html, that means this is a web file. .asps, .rss, quite some huge numbers. So let's talk about some key things. Now, key usage of file extension or key examples. Documents is usually, like I explained earlier, .docx, that's for Microsoft, .pdf, portable document format, .discipline text, Excel, image. Now, this is an overview of what I've been talking about for the past few minutes. So, alright, so these are good example, or this is a good idea of what file extension really is. So if you see a file having this extension, like I explained earlier, if you want to see a file extension of a particular file, right click on it, select properties, then you will see type of file. Alright, why file extension matter? Application association, they tell the OS which program to launch, such as opening a PDF file. You know, once the operating system sees or finds out that this particular file is PDF, now it calls that application that will help you access that file immediately. Do you understand? So it tells it, it calls it that okay, this is the file that can access this document. This is the extension that can access this document. So label file identification, they act as labels to show if a file is a photo, or document, or audio file, and so on and so forth. System, operating system functionality. While Mac OS and Linux can sometimes identify files without them, Windows strongly relies on them to distinguish file types. So like we said earlier, the purpose or the importance of file extension is to differentiate one file from the other. So I would advise, before you access that document today, so you won't be affected by virus, check the extension especially, and don't download files from unknown source. So how do you activate file extension functionality on a system without you right clicking the properties? So go to your control panel and click on File Explore. Now it will pop out of File option whatsoever. Alright, click on it. And once you click on it, double click on it, then it brings out this window. Now, what you're going to do is to disable this. Hide extension for known files. Hide extension for known files. So once you do that, apply and OK, then you see things like this. After your file name precedes the extension. I believe what we've learned today will be of great benefit for you. So always check our channels to see more updates. Like, share, and follow all our pages. Thank you. Do have a